This morning, President Trump facing headwinds ahead of his planned historic meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, announcing the meeting will take place in Alaska next Friday and suggesting that Ukraine may have to cede some of its land as part of a peace agreement.
There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky slamming the proposal, saying we will not reward Russia for what it has done. Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. A senior U.S. official telling NBC News that top Ukrainian officials met this weekend with Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and White House Special Envoys Steve Witkoff and Keith Kellogg ahead of the Trump-Putin meeting. NBC News now learning, according to a senior U.S. official and 3 people briefed on discussions, the White House is considering inviting Zelensky to Alaska. The Ukrainian president asserting that any deal between Trump and Putin will achieve nothing without Ukraine at the table. President Trump, for a second time this year, had set a deadline for Russia to enter into a ceasefire and effectively bring its war to an end.
10 days from today.
But this weekend, that deadline came and went without a mention of any consequence, despite Russia's military continuing to bombard Ukrainian cities. On the campaign trail, Trump frequently bragged he could end the war in Ukraine in one day.
Within 24 hours.
But in recent weeks, his patience with Putin seemingly wearing thin.
We get a lot of bull thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth.
And after years of praising the Russian leader,
I said he was a strong leader, which he is.
And then suggesting he believes Putin over U.S. intelligence about Russia's interference in the 2016 election.
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
The president growing increasingly frustrated, with Putin saying this in July.
He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
This Alaska meeting comes after Steve Witkoff's visit to Russia this last week, but I'm told now that the White House's other special envoy, Keith Kellogg, will personally be flying to Ukraine early this week for in-person talks with Ukrainian officials ahead of the Alaska Trump-Putin meeting. These are potentially high-stakes 5 days ahead. Willie?
They certainly are. Vaughn Hilliard at the White House. Vaughn, thank you.